Hey guys, thank you so much. Always appreciate it when people jump on, tune in, listen up, and learn something. So I want to talk a little bit with you on the heels of a really great coaching call that I gave this morning. Let's see if I can adjust here a little bit. I don't really like it when, there we go, when you can see the yellow of the wall in front of, or on top of the white of the backdrop. So let me tell you, one of the things that I see consistently, even at the pro level. Hey, Winnie, this is going to be perfect because you were on the coaching call today. Even at the pro level, I see people leaving the power of their voice out of the mix as speakers. Now, you need to understand something, just as a baseline. If you're in this group, I assume it's because you actually have an interest in being a better presenter, a better speaker, and a better communicator. And if those things are true, you need to understand that you've got to get your voice in the game. Like, it has to be part of your approach, your delivery. If you don't get your voice in the game, hey Adam, what's going to happen is you're just going to leave what I'm going to call emotional money on the table. You need to understand what the voice does, how it functions. It is the conveyor of emotion, right? You can say all the words you want, but if you don't have the delivery in the voice, Bob, welcome my friend, then your words are going to fall flat or be misconstrued or any of a number of other things. So I'll give you the example that I gave today in the coaching call. We've all had a high stakes conversation with a loved one, child, partner, parent, someone. And Glenn, welcome, buddy. I know you can relate to, and I say high stakes conversation because I don't want to use the term fight, but I know you can relate to having someone say one word with what you deemed at that moment in your charged state as a questionable tone of voice. And tell me the truth. Did it or did it not set you off? Do you know the feeling of having someone use a tone of voice that you deemed was inappropriate and clenching? Yes or no? Getting to the point where you have to de-escalate from just the tone of voice they used without any sense or even ability to acknowledge or get into what they might have been thinking, feeling, or going through at the time. Right? Chances are, if you're in a high stakes communication, so is the person you're communicating with, right? Obviously. So you might be in an argument with someone you care greatly about, or maybe you're just talking to your child and they say something flippant, offhand, snippy, and it just locks you up inside. I know that everybody has experienced this. 16-year-old son in the last hour. There you go, Bob. Now, Bob, does it take a minute to de-escalate from that, to change your internal emotional state so that you can then communicate again? Of course it does. See, this is the power of the voice, right? It's just one example. It's one we can all latch onto. I used a negative example because we can all relate to that one. Christopher Hayward, welcome, buddy. But see, every single emotion, all emotional content comes through the voice. All of it, guys. Now, really pay attention to that. Macon, all of the emotional content comes through the voice. The words themselves are templates. They are frames waiting for the meaning that the voice gives them. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, hit the smiley face or something. Give me some emojis for that. Let me know if that makes sense to you. The words are just the placeholders. They're the templates. They're the frames that the voice's emotion delivers on, right? Without the voice, without the emotion of the voice, you leave the interpretation up to chance. Who here among you wants to leave the interpretation of what you mean up to chance? I'm guessing no one. You don't want to come in with something meaningful, something helpful. You don't want to come in with the intent to serve and leave how people interpret it up to chance, do you? Of course not. So it's the voice. The voice is everything for the emotional content. You've got to have the voice, baby. You've got to. There are some other things that when I teach them, I say, yeah, this will help, that'll help. This is non-negotiable. I want you to understand that. So how do we do it then? How do we use our voices in a way that they reliably transmit the emotional content that we intend them to? Interesting. Well, first let me tell you something about our voices and how they operate. Jeannie Trevis Holzbacher, voice is powerful. You are right. Voice is essential. And not just in the sense that if I don't have it, you don't hear me, but that's essential too. But in the sense that if I'm sharing any kind of a message, I've got an outcome I desire. And without the control of my voice, the ability to inflect correctly, to use the voice, get this, I like this one, like a conductor uses an orchestra. Without that ability, you're leaving the interpretation and the emotional content up to chance. And if you're in this group, it's because you're interested in being a speaker. If you're interested in being a speaker, you have to get the voice part. Now, here's what happens. This is what I find fascinating. See, every time I teach my 3-month group coaching, we start with storytelling. We move to body language. People are right there with me. They love it. They're like, yes, 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 yes. We get to voice, and suddenly engagement dips. Suddenly people have something else to do during the call. Suddenly people just don't show up. Anyone want to guess why that is? Any ideas? Winnie, of course, will know because we just talked about it this morning. For the rest of you, I'll tell you. It's because working on our voices is highly emotional. It's incredibly vulnerable. Thank you, Jose, my brother. It is incredibly exposing and revealing. It has a very much of a standing naked in front of the crowd feeling to it. If any of you have ever trained as singers, you'll know what I'm talking about. Where you have to sit there and match the pitch on the piano, right? Sometimes I don't like my voice, says Jose. Yeah, man. Hey, welcome to the human experience. Most of us don't like our voices. And most of us that do like our voices, it's because we've learned to. I will tell you, I hated my voice all through my life. Now I love it. I will also tell you, I've done a tremendous amount of work to be able to make sure that I can do what I'm talking to you about. So here's what happens. We go through our lives and we collect little beliefs, right? Maybe we had an abusive parent and we believe that whatever. Maybe we were harassed or abused or something, and then we keep a belief about that. Well, those beliefs build up like sediment, like a sedimentary layer. Bob, it does have to do with our inner voice, but that's going to be a different conversation. Adam, your voice is not ridiculous. It's just your interpretation of it because of what I'm describing right now. See, we have all of this sedimentary layer of past belief that builds up inside of us. It creates our self-image, the way that we interface with the world, and our voice reflects it all. Our voice reflects it all. On the coaching call this morning, I was able to peg each of the students that were there, hey Jackie, deep emotional truths about them based on their voice only. And this is important because on some level, we all do this with each other. Now, you may not be able to listen to someone's voice and say, oh, okay, I can hear that you used to, you once were, you thought this way, you think that way. I can do it because it's my work, but we all do it on some level. So until you understand that you have a choice, that you can control the way your voice flows out of you, and that if you don't, what you're doing, I know, Jeannie, right? And then until you understand that if you don't take command of your voice, that you're just putting it out there willy-nilly and letting people form their own conclusions. Until you understand those things, you can never be a powerful communicator. And I hope that makes sense. Are we following so far, guys? Click, 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 click. Let's see. Thumbs ups, yeses, whatever you want to say. Just acknowledge if you're following this. And if you're getting how important this is, mastering your voice as a communicator, a speaker, and a presenter is the difference between being able to go into a high stakes communication and have the outcome that you desire, or going into a high stakes communication and leaving the outcome completely to chance. Right? Cool. Okay. Excellent. So, how's your voice? How's it doing? Listen, I want to let you guys know the voice piece from the call today, the training call today, got me really inspired. Now, I'm going to segue into the pitch here. So here comes the call to action. You guys, some of you know that I've been working very, very hard on a premium level group because I couldn't possibly give you everything I have in a free group. It would be foolish. It would make me go hungry and be destitute. But more than that, there's too much. There's too much. And the people that have worked with me before or currently will attest to this. What I do is very, very deep work. It's very deep work. And one of the direct outcomes is that you become a powerful presenter. But it is actually, in fact, much bigger than that. So I have this premium group that I'm building, that I've got set up now, and we're putting the finishing touches on it. For those of you that maybe don't have the investment to work in a group coaching situation or a one-on-one coaching situation, but you'd still like help. This is perfect for that. The base level is a little bit more than $1 a day. Now, this won't be for everybody, of course. And there are 3 levels, by the way. It's $1 a day, it's a cup of coffee a day, it's right around 10 bucks a day. Those are the 3 levels. But what you get inside of it is you get access to the deeper trainings. You get access to everything that I teach. And so I tell you this to say that if you're ready to go a little deeper, if you need to learn how to craft your story, if you want to learn how to master stage presence, including the voice and the body language, if you want to be helped with how to get speaking engagements, or, and I say that this is essential for every speaker, if you want to know how to create your own events, then you owe it to yourself to check this group out, right? You owe it to yourself to give this a shot. The investment is almost insignificant compared to what you get inside of the group. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to invite 4 people who watch this video to just have a quick call with me, a 15-minute call. And if you'd like that, say yes in the chat or send me a private message. Say yes if you are interested in having a 15-minute call, or send me a private message and say, I want to call. And it won't be a pitch. It'll just be talking together to see if everything's good. Okay? I'll say, hey, you're already in the group, brother. See, I like how the people that are already in there are going, yeah, me. That's me right there. I want that. So that's the call to action, guys. Listen, you need to master your voice. And mastering your voice is a highly emotional process, okay? And once you master your voice, you need to master your body language. And you need to be able to tell your story in a way that is going to prompt people to come talk to you. Prompt people to know that you are the person that is perfect to solve their problems. You're the Sherpa, you're the guide that they want helping them. And there's so much more than just those things, but those are 3 of the big things that we cover. Right? So if you'd like to book a call with me, 4 people, 4 people. I'm going to take 4 people, either say yes here or send me a private message, and we'll get you booked for a call just to talk about it. Okay? There will be no pitch. I spoke with Adam earlier today, who's on this call, and I think he can testify. There's no pitch. It's just a conversation. So I'd love to have you. I'd love to know if you're the person who's ready to move to that next level. And if you are, let's just talk about it, okay? In the meantime, what are you going to do to master your voice? Because you need to. I'll talk to you guys soon.